You go to the gym, right?
Oh yeah, I right now go 3 to 5 times a week.
Okay, big man over here. Not only are you 8.5 feet tall, you bench past 450 pounds.
Whoa, not that close yet. All right, first of all, I'm not 8 feet tall. I'm basically just
Cap
5'11".
lies.
Not
Um,
moving 400. If I did, I think I'd be at a tryout right now.
I hate working out. I love training. I hate working out. Like I love, going out on the hill and training for um whatever ski thing I'm going into, or for, my boxing. I love training for boxing, shadow, drills, hitting the heavy bag, speed bag, whatever.
Yeah,
I hate lifting weights. I
understood.
I hate running on the treadmill. I won't run on the treadmill full stop. If I'm running, it has to be outside. I don't care if it's snowing or the temperature. I will not get on a fucking treadmill. It's just like it's the feeling of being a hamster that
Yeah,
just drives me crazy.
absolutely. I'm not a treadmill runner. One, I feel like it hurts my shins more than regular running. I don't know if that's just in my head, but then also it's just I feel like I'm in a hamster wheel. Like I actually feel like I'm in a hamster wheel just running, and it's just this weird feeling.
It's the same thing why I don't do yoga. It's like I'm not going to be in one spot and sweating. Like if I'm going to be sweating, I want to be moving. I hate the
Understood.
sweat. I think that's why skiing is so appealing to me, because I can be physical without sweating.
That makes sense. Funny enough, I just came from the gym. Like I'm still in my gym
Ah.
clothes at the airport. Like I just came out the gym.
I won't, if when I'm driving home from the gym, I'm usually shirtless, or I put my sweatshirt back on and took my t-shirt off. Like I
Right.
hate even the feeling of like a t-shirt, like of a sweaty t-shirt on me.
I got you.
But I've been the gym I've been at for the past few years was just my clubhouse in
Hmm.
Aspen. The clubhouse has a gym, you work out there, cool. All simple and fine. It's to myself. Is that wait, something's rumbling.
Sorry, I touched something. Continue. I was very enthralled with your story.
Yeah. So I just work out the clubhouse.
Hmm.
And the only other people who work out at the clubhouse are other coaches or the athletes.
Right.
But when I moved to Vale, we still get a free gym membership.
Hmm.
But it's a gym open to anybody.
Hmm.
And because my boxing training has hit a new level, I've actually started lifting weights to go with it and going harder. And like, unless it's kind of trailed off in the winter, just because I'm going 9:30 to 3:30 on the hill most days,
Hmm.
and I can't hit the gym every day. And when I do hit the gym, I don't do these crazy like 3.5 hour workouts I was doing during the fall.
Three and
So
a half hours.
yeah, because I would do shadow boxing and be
Uh,
working different sets. Like I would work one combination,
hmm.
just one combination, 3 sets, 15 minutes, and then I would do another combination, just one set, 15 minutes, 3 sets, and then I would do freestyle. And time fucking adds up. And
Right.
then I would go hit weights, which was like
Mm.
another hour. Um, but during this time, all this time at this gym, I
Yeah.
developed my first gym crush.
Ooh, we have a gym crush, people. We have crushes in the building. Let's
Yeah,
see how this goes.
and like, isn't there's nothing better than a crush like that first, and a crush, a removed crush. Like you can have, like there's the work crush, there's a gym crush,
Yeah.
there's for me, you can have like the on the hill crush.
Right.
Um, it's like the removed crush because it's not real. You don't know them. There's no like you've said some things to them,
Yeah.
but not enough to warrant any type of like friendship. It's an acquaintance who it's a like a special interest acquaintance, pretty much.
I like to equate it to admiration from a distance. Like I'm
Yeah.
admiring you from a distance.
Yes. And there's something special about it because it's innocent,
Hmm.
because there's no deeper feelings. It's innocent because it's purely physical,
Right.
so it's easy. And you don't have to think about it too much. And when you see them, you get a little extra boost.
Hmm.
So there was this girl who was at the gym when I was there. Whenever I saw her, she was going so fucking hard that I would get pumped up. Like I would get excited. Like I gotta go harder because she's going so hard.
He's like, "Fuck yeah!" He's like, yeah.
Yeah, and like I especially at the gym, I keep myself to myself, and she's doing her workouts, and I'm not even really looking. I'm just noticing. I'm noticing how hard she's going, and she's got a little notebook, and she's like writing things down as she goes. I'm like, that's cool.
Oh, she's a gym girl. Like she ain't even just like, "Oh, I go work out." She's a gym girl. Gotcha.
But she's not obnoxious about it. I know the
No,
type you're talking about, and she's not that. She's not um
there's levels to gym girls.
okay, fine.
She's not on the highest level, but she's in that. Oh, I take this shit serious. Like I'm throwing some weight around. Like I'm not playing around. Like this is getting done.
She does more skill-based workouts,
Okay.
which is also very appealing to me. Like that's also what caught my eye. I guess
Hmm.
that's goes with what like a gym crush is. As I
Yeah.
learn about these things for the first time with my first gym crush, is we have similar workouts. Our workouts are more skill and balance based.
Hmm.
I see her a bunch, very cute. She's got a full body. Um, you know, skinny models, you can keep those. I like big corn fed Midwestern hoes.
Ladies, ladies, you like big fed ladies.
Ladies.
We don't go by
Ladies.
those other words. We don't go by those. Oh, she's okay with it. She's okay with
Yeah, like I got a sweatshirt in my closet that says slut is a social construct. Like I don't really believe in any of that shit. It's all love. Like whatever you want to do with your body and with
it.
yourself, I am 100% for.
Right.
It's and not even like 100%, not just 100% for. I don't think it fucking matters. Like it's just not that
Really
deep.
don't.
Like,
Yeah.
who cares? Like, if you like to fuck and somebody doesn't like to fuck, or somebody likes to fuck a little, or somebody likes to fuck a lot. Someone likes to fuck one person, or somebody who likes to fuck 1,000. Just let
That is,
people fuck.
that is between you and your door and your bed. That is nothing. That is none of my business. And I think too many people make it their business. But
Yeah.
back to your lovely
Yes.
admiration.
Yes. She's got a cute little mountain tattoo on her side.
All right,
Like in the
you're
same.
paying very close attention.
She's
I'm
in a
fucking with you. I'm
fucking
joking. I'm
like
fucking with you.
bippy top. What do you
I'm,
want me to do? The tattoo is like shining at me. I have the
I'm,
same tattoo.
I promise you, I'm fucking with you.
I have
It's
the
just when
same
you.
tattoo on my side. Oh, like she has the Vale Mountains, and
Mhm.
I'll tell you how I found out later. It's the Vale mountain range, and I have Stratton Mountain, my home hill from Vermont, same place, which is why I really like took notice. Like another thing, it's
That's
like
a
not only do we
connection
have
thing.
similar workouts, yeah, we have the same tattoo in the same spot.
Hmm.
One time I just walked up to her when I first saw her, actually, and it was just the kindling of a crush
Yeah.
being ignited before it had built into a bonfire. Our only interaction before Saturday night,
Uh-huh.
foreshadowing. Just gonna sprinkle a little bit of foreshadowing in there. Yep, just like parsley, chef dressing the plate with parsley.
Hmm.
I just walked up to her and I just gave her a fist bump and like gave her a thumbs up as I walked away. I'm like that just because I was like so like inspired
Hmm.
by how hard she was going and how long she had been there and the different levels she was working through. And tall. I don't know if she doesn't have time for me yet, but she definitely is my type in that she's tall. Like we stand. Deem is now pulling his beanie over his face in some sort of like secondhand embarrassment.
It's not even secondhand embarrassment. It's like, why do we go through this again? Like, here we go.
But like she might just be nice. We don't know yet.
It's not that. It's when you said, I don't know if she doesn't have time for me yet. It's like, are we going to go down this rabbit hole yet again?
She seems nice.
Okay, go ahead. Continue, Jack.
And then finally on Saturday, I'm there with I made a friend who's a kickboxer who just
Mhm.
happened to be at the same gym as me. And now we do a lot of shadowing together and we run drills together. And he's there and we're both in the movement room
Mhm.
at the gym, which is this great little spot that's like, I want to say like 10 by 10 feet, 12 by 12 feet.
Mhm.
Heat turned up to like 78. So when you're in there, you're just dripping sweat. Hardwood floor, mirrors. So it's like perfect, to train in. And we're in there and we're shadowing, and she comes in and is like doing some of her stuff. And then we had stepped out, I guess, for a moment to hit weights and do whatever, and came back, and she was still in there, and we were going to start shadow boxing, which takes up a lot of space because we're moving. And
Right.
obviously, I'm not going to kick her out or anybody out. Like, I'm not a dick. Her headphones are off now, and I just go, "Hey, excuse me. Do you mind if we shadow in here? We'll just be moving around and we'll keep just like as a heads up."
Right.
Well, yeah, I'm done anyways. And I say to her, "Oh, like I'm so glad when I see you in here because like you go so hard, it gets me really excited and like makes me want to do more." And this girl smiles. Like and I'm a sucker for a smile. Like a big toothy grin that's totally uh uninhibited by inhibition or insecurity. She likes to smile and she wants the world to know it. And big toothy grin and she goes, "Oh, thank you so much. It's cool. I
It's
I
like radio call. Got him. As soon as you see the smile. We got him, boys. We got him. We got
And she says, "I thank you. I used to be a competitive mogul skier." Yeah, you want to talk about got him? Like just tossing me an alley oop.
It's like radio. We got a killer. We
Yeah.
got a killer.
No. Well, then she stands up, and I realize like we're the same height, and I'm not tall. Like
Mhm.
I'm 5'9". But on Tinder I'm 6 foot. No, I'm
You're
five
not that
nine.
shorter than me.
Dude, you're like 7'11". Like,
Here
what are
we
you
go.
talking about?
Here we go with the bullshit. Here we go with the bullshit.
She's about we're looking eye to eye. She might even be a little bit taller than me. So now, she's checking a lot of boxes. And I'm like, "Oh, I run the mogul program for the skiing snowboard club Vale. Like, if you used to compete, like, you should come coach with us sometime. We should ski together." And she loves it and she's all into it. And we're talking just about skiing and the gym. And I get her number because I'm like, we should go skiing together sometime. The only red flag is that she's in nursing school and nurses are crazy people.
Not
You
all.
You're
Like, not. Like, you're not wrong. But you're also not fully right. We can't just judge a whole group of
right.
people.
We
Now,
can't generalize.
now, is it a little more than 50%?
Is
Possibly.
it?
You know.
It's nurses and teachers are like my red flag occupations.
Wait, why
I've
teachers?
never been I've never seen an occupation drink more than teachers.
I mean, to be fair, they kind of have like they deal with
I
these
get
badass
it.
kids. They get underpaid. They ain't got the goddamn supplies and shit that they need. Fucking school districts are dicks. Like if you really look at it, they're
I
it's
I
necessary.
get it. I'm a judgeless person. There's still I am. No, I'm a judgeless
I know,
person.
I get it.
There's nobody or occupation or style of person who I will judge based upon their decisions rather than their principles.
Right,
If I can look at a person and I can be um and I can see a clear conscience and good intentions, I'm cool.
right,
Whoever you want to be with that foundation is between you and your own God. And then I point out a tattoo and I ask about that. I'm like, that's a really cool tattoo. And I lift up my shirt to show her mine.
hmm
She says she grew up here and that's why she has the Vale Mountain. I'm like, yeah, I grew up. I went to high school in Stratton and that's why I have mine. So now we're connecting on a level. I get the number and we're gonna go skiing sometime. My off days are Monday and Tuesday. She's also off Monday and Tuesday.
I hear good things here. I hear
Yes.
a lot of possibilities. Now, we've been doing this podcast. It's episode 9. We've been doing this for a little bit, almost like a good almost like a good 3 months actually.
Yeah, episode 9. That's over 2 months. Plus
Yeah,
like our pilot and
yeah.
our our previous name. Yeah.
Actually, by the time you head to, just to let people know, by the time you head to Japan, we would have made 3 months doing this.
Fucking 13 days away.
So, um, now I'm just saying, Jack. The one thing I love about you is your intensity. The one thing I need you to be careful of, though,
I know.
is your intensity. Just slow burn. Okay, this is like when I say slow burn, I mean slow burn, like the Hangman story. You see how the Hangman story, again, the title took like a good 2 years. I need you to slow burn that. Okay, don't 2 years it, but also don't 0 to 60 it. You see what I'm saying? Like don't 0 to 60.
So don't
Like
don't play it so hard to get that I run into her 4 years from now at a bar and we somehow like start up what we were doing before, but also like don't bang in the gondola on the first date.
let's not do that. How about the first day we get to know each other? Let's get
Yes,
to
good,
conversations.
good.
Get to know.
You know what's a really good way to get to know each other?
Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
Banging
No, sweet baby Jesus. What are you about to say?
in the gondola.
I just want you to know, if anything should happen, who knows? The powers is the powers to be.
Let's not
If
jinx
months
it.
ahead we have, of course, months ahead, if this becomes something, we have to hide this episode. Like this episode has to become something that possibly hides because we don't need this debriefing of me telling you, hey, let's not come on like a fiery dragon. Let's just
But
slow.
it's if it does work out,
Mm-hmm.
she's gonna have to accept not even accept. I hope that she would, love me for me, and that comes with my honesty.
Yeah, that
And
yeah.
and I don't possible future girlfriends. I don't actually plan to bang in the gondola on our first date.
Yeah, that's not.
Sometimes I say things just to be funny. And that's also like something I hope that they like love me for me, even when my jokes, fail terribly.
You mean when you try to pop yourself, like when you put the pink bunny suit on?
Yes, like when I try to put the pink bunny suit on and pop myself. You're right.
Yeah. These are all moments that lead to this, but I think this is cool. I think it's cool when you have a crush on somebody. I think sometimes we forget how powerful just having a crush on somebody can be. It can make you feel alive a little bit. Um,
Absolutely. That's a really good
So
way to put it.
yeah, I feel like when you remember that you have emotions and feelings, especially when you're single for a while, it's different.
That's also true.
So
Every number is, it is a scrap of hope.
exactly.
It's a plank to walk on to keep yourself like going over the black hole of life.
Listen, after the couple weeks I've had, I can only say I absolutely agree. Because let me tell you, that black hole is it's just staring me in the eyes. It's just staring me.
Keep walking those
But
planks.
I'm kind of out of them. Anyway, though, but that's amazing, though. I'm happy for you, Jack. And honestly, man, I hope this goes good for you. I hope
Me
you
too.
give us a little update when you come
Yeah.
back from Japan. Um, give it some time. We gotta give it 3 week. We try to do the 3 week push over here. When it comes down to,
We're gonna
to
shotgun this to the pay-per-view.
no. Let's
Oh
see where
yeah.
it's at after 3-4 weeks. Let's see.
Bill to Mania, baby.
Yeah, let's see if it goes back to NXT. Go back to the Dynamite.
Needs a little more seasoning.
Ah, man. Should we get into the show now?
Wrestle with Romance, baby.
Of course. And welcome back to another episode of Wrestling with Romance. I am your co-host, Life of Beam, and I am with my lovely friend and romantic human being.
Oh, you called me your friend for the first time.
You're my friend.
It's you're my friend too. It's Jack Simon. I guess this is my thing now. I was doing the podcast from my bed because Mondays are my day off, and they'll probably be the only day where I'm off the hill too, as I start having to do course maintenance. So this is my thing. I'm in bed doing the podcast from bed, and I'm sore as shit and tired.
Sir, you have a physical labor job. And by the time you come back from Japan, I will be back doing murals. So I'll probably be in my fucking bed
Right.
doing the
Love
show. So I understand fully. Oh, man. How are you feeling today? Well, beyond your gym crush and everything, feeling on top of the world there. How, how else are you feeling today?
Feel great. Skiing is going well. Kids are happy. Parents are happy. Most importantly, wrestling is picking back up out of its dead period. We've had a few good episodes of AEW.
This was a good weekend. This is a really
weekend.
good. It was a good week because if you go from Dynamite to Rampage, Collision, and if you count ROH, it is 4 solid, more than solid shows.
I keep waiting. I keep meaning to watch ROH. You know that one thing in your life where it's like when you lay down on your bed and you close your eyes on your little pillow, and then you go, "Fuck that thing! I forgot." ROH. Watching ROH is that thing for me.
I could understand that. I would tell you I'll tell you I could give you the matches where I'm just like, yeah, you can skip these if you want to, but there's like 3-4 skippable matches. But
In the pay-per-view last weekend,
yeah, there's like 3 or 4, which is depending on what you're feeling for I Quit matches. Up to you. It's divisive, but it's a good match. But up to you on how you feel about I Quit matches.
I Quit matches, yeah, they're not my favorite type of death match or hardcore match. They're probably my least favorite because it involves a really big. I never look at a character the same way after they do I Quit.
I could understand that. But it did reunite Men of the Year with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, so there was that reunion in that match. So if you are interested in that, possibly you could check that out.
They were great when they were together.
So they're running back together now. So that match leads to that. They did have a Nyla Rose versus Vert Vixen match where you can skip that.
Yeah, I'm sure. But now I'm also upset that I've heard such great things about Athena and Billy Starks, and I really love watching Athena wrestle.
Listen,
and I've missed that whole fucking storyline.
That match, the storyline, I've been paying attention to that storyline. Great storyline. Probably the best woman storyline AEW's done, or AEW, or whatever you want to call it altogether. Match is physical. Match is fucking physical. Really good ass match. Crowd is hot throughout the whole show. And they did have an Eddie Kingston Proving Ground match. Again, up to you.
What's a Proving Ground match?
So ROH has a proving ground match where basically if you pin the champion, this is for every division. It's basically, and this is from old ROH. It's something that they carried over into now. So this has always been a thing in ROH. It's like if you survive 10 minutes or you pin the champion, you get a title shot. But it's like you have to basically, it's a time limit thing. Like you have to survive the 10 minutes to like prove like, oh, you're more than just like somebody that can get stepped over. You're actually like a worthy champion.
I mean, one of my
Challenger.
favorite matches. Well, no, I wouldn't say favorite, but I think one of the most underrated matches from AEW was Jericho versus Jungle Boy for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's kind of
like
within that same vein.
Like within the first 6 months of AEW.
So it's in that same vein, but everything else hidden. Like Commander versus Black Taurus to start off the show, fucking nuts. Yeah. I left there just like
Commander. I thought it was Vikingo.
Vikingo, excuse me. Vikingo versus Black Taurus, and then Commander in the survival. Commander and Kyle Fletcher in survival of this. The survival of the fittest. That last two.
What's survival of the fittest?
So survival of the fittest is kind of like a 6-man elimination match. So it's like 6 people. Cool. So you had Brian Keith, Dalton Castle, Kyle Fletcher, Commander, Lee Moriarty, and Lee Johnson.
Dalton Castle should be on AEW like weekly television.
Yes and no. I feel as an original ROH person, you do need him there.
I don't know why Taven is like on AEW then and not.
Yeah, I mean
Dalton Castle, when Dalton Castle is way more charismatic and a better wrestler, in my opinion.
I feel like Taven and them wouldn't. I feel like that's why, we'll get into another time, but I feel like that's why the Devil thing has to be like the Kingdoms involved, because I don't see a reason to have Taven up there if nothing.
I saw a theory floated recently that it's more than one person.
Yeah, I've seen that too, and it actually wouldn't make sense if there's 2 devils. It would make sense because if you look at the devil from Wednesday and then you look at the first time the devil appears, they're 2 different sizes.
I mean, who would you be more disappointed of when they take off that devil mask and it's Matt Taven or Jack Perry?
I don't think Taven's a devil. I think he's a henchman. Because there's nothing about Taven that gives me like, oh, you're going to give him this type of story. It makes more sense for him to be a henchman.
Of course. I could also see some bullshit of like, hey, Matt Taven, everybody.
Listen, we've been on a good roll. All right, we've been on a good roll. You don't burn this. You don't burn this level of currency that you get now with the fans by saying, hey, Jungle Boy and Matt Taven are the devils. It's like
but you are ready to accept Jack Perry into your heart that he is the devil.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I think these are all red herrings. I think these are misdirections. They've done a bunch of misdirections.
Who do you think it is?
I said it from the beginning. It's Adam Cole.
Right.
I've been saying that on our Zoom for like since it happened. I'm like, that's Adam Cole.
Yeah.
I said it's either Adam Cole or it's Britt.
I mean, it would have to be, but it would be. It can't be Adam Cole because he's legit hurt.
And we just don't know. Yeah, true.
And it can't be Britt because she's too small.
That's why I said the first devil is smaller than the devil that showed up Wednesday. That's why I said I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2 and it's both of them.
Yeah, yeah.
That actually would make sense. Because one of those guys is Wardlow. I don't give a fuck what it is. One of the henchmen of Wardlow. I know Wardlow's body's fucking tight from watching enough goddamn Wardlow. That's fucking Wardlow.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just don't want to see Wardlow as that.
What, a henchman?
Yeah.
I think if you explain the henchmen as people who've just been wronged by MJF, who want to bring him down, and not really
roster.
I mean, that's why everybody's
up. No, I understand it as that. It's more of like a bums for me if Wardlow's a henchman because it's such like a supplementary role, and I thought he would get something a lot meatier for his storyline with MJF.
Um, I can understand that, but we also don't know how they can spin it. I'll be honest with you, they have a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff I like. A lot of stuff that's going to be interesting. So I still like right now. I'm enjoying so much. I'm back at. I'm gonna wait to see it play out. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let it see it play out because, like, even you watch Collision this weekend.
Yep.
So that might be my favorite Collision episode, and it was just like, god damn, there was so much on this episode. Like, I love the Daniel Garcia Eddie match. I just love the idea of Garcia kind of like figuring himself out. Like, that's what this whole tournament has been. It's just like 1 minute when he's facing Danielson, he's the Red Death in the trunks with the towel back in. Then he's with Eddie going as hard as he can. You know, it's just different elements of him. Eddie having the comeback story, Mark Briscoe learning how to be a singles wrestler, Swerve's ascension, Moxley being Mox.
Well, I guess like the idea right now is Mox is the final boss.
He is. That's why I'm very interested to see Wednesday, because it's him versus Jay White, Roosh versus Swerve, which I know is gonna be fucking insane. Oh, they're going at it on Twitter too. You know, I'm just like, yeah,
I saw that.
Give it to me. And then I find it kind of poetic. Like the second to third Dynamite is when they did the Mark Briscoe, like the Jay Briscoe honor match where you have Mark versus Jay Lethal. The second or third to last episode of Dynamite this year is Jay Lethal versus Mark Briscoe. Like, it opens and closes the year. I kind of find that a little poetic.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot. And then that Blue League is fucking nuts. Claudio and Andrade was amazing.
Yes.
I said this in maybe a hot take.
Oh boy. The straight man.
This run is the greatest run of Andrade. This is better than his NXT run. Because even if you look at his NXT run, people forget suspenders, top hat Andrade before he was with Zelina Vega.
But that was part of storyline, though.
But we also forget no one expected him to beat Drew McIntyre. So he was not ever built to beat him. So he really only had Johnny Gargano. He had a singles match with Johnny Gargano, then beat Drew McIntyre, then Johnny Gargano another time, like 2 times, and then lost it to Aleister Black. Match-wise, this run since he's come back from injury, him and Buddy on the ladder match, the Continental Classic matches, since he came back from injury on Collision, it's been one of his best runs. It's been better than his NXT run, to me.
I disagree. Respectfully.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Because I think I might have made this comparison on the show before. Anyways, but under the pro athlete comparison for Elliot Olo is Ndamukong Suh. Because Ndamukong Suh came into the league and was already one of the best defensive players in the NFL. And then he just plateaued for the rest of his career. Like, he never got any better. And the thing is, he plateaued as one of the best. He just never had to get any better. And like, he had the potential to be the greatest. He just didn't kind of feel like trying that much. And you could also squint and say Shaq, because Shaq came in with every physical gift you could ever have and could have been the greatest defensive player of all time and arguably the greatest player of all time, full stop. But, you know, he would rather have been Shaq. Eliodolo, from the get-go, you know, he was a prodigy from the time he was a teenager in Mexico. Yeah. And I think early on he realized that he can be the best without trying that hard. And he plateaued right there.
Right.
And he plateaued as one of the best. But you can clearly see when he's not trying. Like
See,
I like all those like accusations like levied against Brock Lesnar, I think are much more apropos for El Idolo, where if he feels like trying, it's going to be amazing, and if he doesn't respect his opponent, he's just going to sleepwalk through it.
see, this is why I feel that's what I'm saying is to me since he's been back from injury, he's been trying. There hasn't been a match that I've seen him
Since Collision started,
since
he's
Collision. That's
it's
what I'm
been a
saying.
little bit more effort.
This run since Collision started because he had the 2 matches with Buddy, including that ladder match, which I think was fucking fantastic. He's had the match with Brody this past week, Wednesday. He's had the 2 matches with Danielson. He's had Claudio. He's had Brody King. He's like his matches. He has 2 Brody King matches. Holy shit, didn't even think about that. But even the Juice Robinson match, I was still into. Like he has been hitting on a different level where I've just been like match quality wise, I'm into everything he's been doing lately. And it's like I'm just like, holy shit, he's so fucking good.
Yeah, and I think NXT when he had to prove himself was
Yes,
the biggest effort we saw out of him, and
because he
that's
was the
why.
champion that no one expected. No one expected him to get it. It seemed out of nowhere. He had to kind of prove himself a little bit more, and we got a fucking run from him that was really good. Even though it was short, it was like, yeah. But also, the most women on an AEW show was this past fucking Saturday.
Hooray!
It was like 11.
We did it.
2 matches, 3-4, 3-4 segments. I'm like, hey,
I hope
continue
it continues.
consistency. Because if we could continue
Follow
this,
up now, Tony. Follow
yeah,
up.
like we done it once. That's lovely. Need you to do it again.
But it's like the I don't know. I guess the Dom Kinsu and Shaq comparisons to Idolo has me, thinking about what was on my heart this week. Where it's like all of sports is pro wrestling now,
Absolutely.
and it's something my friend actually pointed out, who's not a wrestling fan,
Mm-hmm.
but knows that I'm a huge one, and said it. He's like, "Do you see the parallels in like other sports to pro wrestling?" And I said, "Yeah, now more than ever." And he goes, "Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I've been thinking."
Yeah.
Like UFC, for our first step, is pro wrestling. I mean, the fights are, not predetermined,
Mm-hmm.
but they are constantly trying to organically create what pro wrestling is scripted for.
Did you see UFC this past Saturday? What happened
Yeah.
with the two fighters fighting in the crowd? I'm like, that is such a wrestling shoot angle, where it's like, oh, we're shooting on each other. I'm like, y'all didn't even really swing. You guys are trained killers.
Well, I think that was legit. But here we go. Like,
Very pro
now's the
wrestling.
argument about it. Like, that's exactly what they want. It was like, was it real? Was it not?
Yeah,
That's pro wrestling.
of course.
Because, like, you can say, Dana White walks out there and goes, "Yeah, it was really dumb of me to sit them near each other." But then you're also showing full HD replays of the full incident after they had cut away. And it's like, okay, if you're really like this ashamed and you don't want that to continue, why are you now giving it this much attention?
Of course.
I
It
mean, the
is.
story of Kobe Covington.
Kobe Covington is the heel of he's every heel
Yeah.
like wrestling
And
heel.
the story goes that he came into the UFC, had a few fights, and then they were going to cut him
Yeah.
because he had won the fights, but they're like, "We don't like your fighting style. We think you're boring, both like your personality and your fights." And
Mm-hmm.
then he invented this whole persona for himself, which is, in the words of Stone Cold, just turn the character up to 11.
Exact. Him, Chael Sonnen, before him, Conor fucking McGregor.
Yeah.
These are
I mean,
all
I think Kobe's the best example because like he really did invent it. Like Chael and Connor are pretty much themselves. They are very bombastic and audacious.
Oh yeah, but I mean like because Chael had the similar thing as Kobe. Like they were gonna cut Chael.
I didn't
And
know
then
that.
he had the same thing. He was in similar to Kobe. He was already cut one time, brought back, and when he got brought back, that's when he had the character. And that's when he was doing everything to get the match with Anderson Silva and then talking. But he never started off his career like that.
And they're
So
not
yeah,
rewarding title shots based on the rankings.
no,
Like
the
Kobe
story.
Covington has gotten 3 title shots because he's their top heel.
He didn't have a match for like a year and a half almost.
He gets the fight because he's their top heel, and they
Yeah,
need to sell the fight. And Leon Edwards isn't a really sexy champion.
exactly. He just also bust Kobe's ass, so there goes that.
Yeah, that's the end of. I think that's pretty much the end of Kobe.
You lose 3 title matches. It's kind of like get the fuck in the back.
Yeah. He'll, but he'll hang around as a mid card,
of course,
star, and have a match. I think he called out Wonder Boy. Have a nice little match with Wonder Boy.
Called out Wonder Boy, Dustin Poirier. Like he's been talking about Dustin for a while. Like, come on, he's setting himself up for some titles.
That's also what he does really well. Like, is he puts a lot of fighters' name into his mouth, so there's always talk about him. So he'll always get a fight.
And public people talking about LeBron, all that other stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and that's too, like, to move it past the arena of combat sports, go look at the NBA. And we were talking about this last year. NBA fans don't even like hoops anymore.
No.
NBA fans hardly give a fuck about basketball.
Got a good one for you now that we're talking about it. The in-season tournament was probably the most I've seen people care about basketball in December. Tell me that's not the...
They were hooping.
Tell me that's not the Continental Classic.
Right.
Tell me that's not the Continental Classic.
For sure. Like, it's a total pro wrestling idea of we got nothing going on, and it's a dead time for our product. We need to invent something.
Exactly.
And sure, it's kind of like the whole European soccer thing as well. But for I would say for the hoopla and the showmanship that went with it, totally pro wrestling.
Totally. Like, there's no way you can't tell me that doesn't scream like, oh, we got Royal Rumble in January, or oh, we got a Classic. Oh, let's do King of the Ring. Like, that sounds like a tournament, a round robin tournament to just get you a title, to get some interest. And guess what? It worked. It absolutely worked.
Because it feeds for the fans. It feeds the storylines.
Of course.
And you had a really interesting one in the finals of the Pacers, who have the lowest payroll in the league.
Yes.
And who need that $500K bonus.
Dang.
Like, probably even more than they wanted. They needed.
Mm-hmm.
And the big bad Lakers, who don't really need it, and the notorious cheapest player in the league, and LeBron James is like, no, I'm getting that $500K.
But also, if you look at it, let's put it in other wrestling terms. LeBron is in the GOAT conversation. We can never argue that. But he also gets to have his name on this title first.
Michael Jordan doesn't have an NBA cup.
Kobe don't. Wilt don't. No one does. Kareem don't. I get to say that. So it's a wrestling storyline. It's all like this. It's just like
finals is David versus Goliath.
Exactly. And if you want to get a little bit more funny, you go back and watch Draymond Green for the last 2 months and tell me Draymond Green hasn't been watching.
You watched Draymond Green for his whole fucking career.
I just wanted to focus on the last 2 months specifically. His career, absolutely. But the last 2 months, he hit a spinning Hurricane like he was Eddie Kingston, and then put in the Coquina Clutch like he was Samoa Joe. You tell me he has not. The fear in Rudy Gobert's eyes looked like everybody when Samoa Joe puts that submission on you. Like,
he's doing, like, I feel like his whole career beyond the physical acts has been a Malachi Black type thing, or a Bray Wyatt type thing, where he's like just trying to get into your head.
Absolutely.
And then his matches are more about theatrics than actual and smoke and mirrors, and that includes his incredible Hall of Fame defense.
Of course.
He's just flying around causing chaos because he's in your head. Like a Malachi Black, like a Bray Wyatt.
You could hear him being like, I know what makes you think, brother. You ain't physical enough. Let me just get you.
the crows that fly around inside of your brain are as me on the basketball court.
I just remember the joke somebody had, and it was like when Draymond put Rudy Gobert in a headlock. There was like, you knew he was yelling "Sacre bleu," like "Sacre bleu," like he was.
Has understood is most important.
Right.
Like before, because before sports could just rely on their product, on the actual sport, the game that they're playing. But
Right.
now that's not enough. You have to have
No.
people invested in the players more than the people care. You know, it's you don't really have that rabid fan base outside of like the Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks, which hardly even count because they're the drizzling shits.
Don't tell my
Outside
brother
of
that.
not even like, or if outside of, you know, the Yankees or um the Oakland A's, well, formerly the fucking Oakland A's, which just makes me so sad. I can't even talk about that because they love that fan. Like that was one of the last rabid fan bases left, even when they sucked. That was one of the last rabid fan bases. And that's kind of it.
Look at football.
Like
The Chargers. The Chargers have all this talent, and no one gives a fuck.
Yeah. Well, yeah, nobody gives a fuck about teams anymore. Nobody really gives a fuck about fan bases. The Jets, the Bills, the Jets and the Bills for sure.
Absolutely. I have 3 family members who are Jets fans. God bless them.
I'm a Jets fan, kind of.
I
used to be a huge. So my family has Jets. Sorry,
no, you good.
My family has Jets tickets going back, season tickets going back to when they played in Shea Stadium 50 years ago. We have 5 decades worth of Jets
y'all
fandom.
committed.
Yes. Well, my dad tells everybody that I quit. That one day I just quit, and feels so good. And this stuff we've definitely talked about before. Just of why, you know, how I got more into pro wrestling. But that fan base is still so dedicated.
Every Sunday that they have a game at MetLife, they're there. They are there.
Because they've been because there's no choice by this point. Like in for a penny, in for a pound.
Perfect representation of how much it's wrestling. That first night of the Jet season was a fucking movie / wrestling scene. It's like the stars coming back. We're ready. We're going to take over the world. And what happens? 4 plays in. It is over, buddy.
It's kind of reminiscent of CM Punk getting squashed. Sorry, did that hit you somewhere sensitive?
Right.
But you know who like the NFL fans do give a fuck about? Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito's getting that shotgun push.
I mean,
hey, to make New York football interesting for the last quarter of the season.
I'm a fan of a certain team where it's like we've had to go through it. Football wise, I'm an Eagles fan. I've been an Eagles fan all my life. So I know that. I also know the drizzling shits. I'm a Chicago Bulls fan.
The Bulls, would you still count the Chicago Bulls as a rabid fan base?
No, because it's just pain. We went from knowing champagne.
No, you don't get to claim that.
We have won 5 games this season.
You don't get, but like, here's my thing. It's like, all I know is pain. Like you had the Jordan years in your lifetime.
Cool. Understand that stopped when I was 8.
You have a foundation of prestige.
Let me explain something that you don't understand. That you won't understand the pain of. Is that Derrick Rose knee thing. Yeah. You will never understand the pain. Because you know why? And you Knicks fans have to deal with it. And I'm happy you have to deal with it.
I mean, I'm one of those NBA atheists too.
That's fine. I'm not talking to you. Any Knicks fan that listens to this, you motherfuckers got Tibbs, who ran Derrick Rose fucking knee until it was out of fucking cartilage, and then didn't choose to take him out while he was up fucking 20. Tell me how your player's health has been.
Do we have a pro wrestling parallel for that of someone who just got ran into the ground and then like just
Undertaker?
kept getting booked? No, because Undertaker still had phenomenal years, and Undertaker had the WrestleMania.
But he got booked until the point where we was just like, Mark, it's time. Like,
no, well, I'm talking about where a promoter booked a wrestler until they had nothing left to give physically.
Oh, I feel like it is because listen, you tell me that Mania with him and Roman Reigns is not the saddest WrestleMania match that you've ever seen.
But I would say no, because Undertaker was still getting like he had one match a year.
I mean,
like, they were preserving him.
The only person we could talk about is maybe it's Ric Flair booking Ric Flair at that point.
Ric Flair.
It's Ric Flair booking Ric Flair.
Well, I'm talking more of someone who was booked like a weekly on television, and it's like, oh wait, you know who it could be actually? Tanahashi.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Where it's like, just let this guy be a commentator and like take a nap and relish in the incredible career. He already had a great comeback story. Let's not ruin it now.
You know what's the saddest part when you think about this year? In back-to-back weeks, Tanahashi had a match with Swerve and MJF, and they were both not good.
They were both bad.
And it's not because of Swerve and MJF.
No.
They had to...
And nobody blames Tanahashi. No. Like, everybody is like, we love you, but please stop.
Go. Just, it's time.
It's okay. Let it go. It's okay.
And you know what I feel bad about? Because God forbid it happens. If Okada really leaves at New Japan Pro Wrestling, you have to... Oh, they say... who knows?
I don't think he is. I think, we forget his wife is a huge star in Japan as well.
I don't doubt that. I know that. I knew about that.
I think he's just trying to drive up cost. And that's kind of it.
But in a world where, listen, you remember how you said there's like one of those things where there's not many things where we just be like, what the fuck? That if he was to...
Okada in WWE would be one. Would be one where it's like, this is like, that'll never happen. And then you secretly hope for it to happen.
It's one of those things where I feel like I would throw up in my mouth a little bit. But anyway, also...
Well, yeah, okay, finish.
So if he leaves, and then you got to retire Tanahashi.
No, bro. If Okada leaves, Tanahashi is going to be champion.
No, he can't fucking run. He can't even really properly move.
Maybe not. I'm saying he should or he shouldn't, but he's going to be.
Hold on.
Let me rephrase. He shouldn't be a champion, but he's going to be. Are we good now? He's going to be a champion.
He shouldn't be a champion, but he's going.
He shouldn't be, but he's going to be a champion.
You can't. You just can't. You can't do this. Like, listen. That means I have to watch Tanahashi face either Sonata or beat Naito.
Oh. It's amazing how like Naito is like pretty much the last of the Mohicans from the NJPW's golden age in like the early mid-aughts.
Yeah.
And they still hate him, and Gato still fucking hates him.
I don't get it.
Because they never wanted him to be the guy, and now I think the idea is if they make him the guy, it's like a surrender.
Then surrender, bitch. I'm just like, then.
Or like, who knows? Maybe because the only time he did win, he had a huge win. They immediately buried him the same night. They buried him 30 seconds later for a dude who's not even in the promotion anymore. Well, he is in the promotion, but who's not even in the top tier anymore.
It is nuts, But listen, Tanahashi is the Derrick Rose, isn't he? Jesus, Jesus.
Yeah, and like Tommy DeVito, to just put a cherry on top and tie this all together.
Mm.
Like Tommy DeVito was, it's not just like his existence that like got him to be this, pseudo star. The NFL has like at every turn been like, ha, look how Italian he is. They show his parents, they show his agent, they show his celebration.
Yeah, wait. Before we get over this, his agent looked wild. You can't tell me that his agent didn't look like he's just like, make sure you bury them with the fishes. Like his agent
I don't think he's real. I think the NFL like invented him as a manager to
he,
push Tommy DeVito. Like they booked him. They're like, hey, we got a guy for you. We're gonna put you two together. Okay.
He definitely looked like he should be with homie from NXT. The Italian dude with the mobster. I forget his name. God damn it. Why is it escaping me?
And he's one of my favorites too, and his name is
Yeah,
also escaping me right now.
I don't know why, but he looks like he should be a member of his family. Like when they say, make sure he sleeps with the fishes. Like it looks like he's making the call. Like, I got him, boss. I got him.
All right, let's talk promotions. Because I've been so excited for like of our like discussion topics of our like reviews and inventing shit, create or whatever. This has been my favorite so far. And I really love that we're stretching it out. This week we're talking the logistics of the promotion.
Yes. So this week we're talking logistics. Next week we're going to be booking to our first pay-per-views. So we also got to give our first pay-per-view names and even, titles, all that type of stuff we'll go over today. You said you wanted to make a switch though.
Yes. So I looked
to the people
down at my 8-man roster, and I was struck by a name that made no sense to me. I looked at James Storm at 4, and I was like, "What the fuck was I thinking?" Like now I get like GMs who draft somebody, and they're like the drizzling shits, and like I understood they're like sometimes you just go blind.
Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, they're like, I have no like I can't do anything with you. Because James fucking Storm, I like looked at a few days later, I'm like, I'm picked a guy whose name was never even that huge as a name dude, and is past his prime and is at his like who's wrestling in OVW.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. When you said James Storm, I just looked at you like, oh. If you go back and look at the video, I'm just like,
I don't know. Maybe I was just trying to be too smart. Or maybe I was thinking of like Beer Money, James Storm, or early NWA James Storm.
Probably. I've never seen NWA James Storm. So.
But I mean, like, Jack, that was 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago. So I'm going to replace him.
Okay.
Because it's a free agent promotion, so I can kick him out and replace him, and it's all fine. Now I'll walk me through the 2 picks or it's even 3 picks. My 3 picks, I was thinking the replacement or Dolph Ziggler for another name.
Oh, so you're replacing Dolph too?
No, I didn't draft Dolph.
Oh, okay.
Dolph is still on our board.
Right.
We were talking about he's like the biggest pick we left off.
Yes, he was.
We can pick Dolph as the biggest name that wasn't as a big name, a marquee name.
Right.
I was thinking leaning further into death matches and going Masashi Takada, who's, if you've seen his match against Jonathan Gresham in Bloodsport, the dude can go, and the dude can go beyond death matches. Or Charles Mason as a underrated indie stud. And I thought of the 3 names. I think I eliminated Takeda first because I don't know how much longer he has to go.
Right.
And I went back and forth between Dolph Ziggler and Mason, and ultimately I'm going to go with Mason as my...
Charles Mason is your replacement
Charles
for James
Mason,
Storm.
because he can do the deathmatch stuff. He can do the regular stuff. He can generate great heat. He's an incredible heel. He can be an all-around guy for me. And I'm going to move him into, for now, He's going to be my new depth chart on the men's side is Leo Rush, Darius Carter, Sammy Callahan. Hammerstone is going to slide into my fourth spot. Effie is going to be my fifth guy. And then I'm going to have Charles Mason as sixth, Josh Barnett seven, Enzo Amore at eight.
Okay. Okay. Deathmatch with Charles Mason and Effie sounds like good shit, buddy. Yeah. Sounds like some good shit there.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Now, do you want to go band for band with our promotion logistics? Like, or we both say our colors and then we both say our titles?
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of how we do things here. I'm for it. I'm with the shits.
Cool. So I'll let you go first.
Me first?
We probably have different stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Let's just go colors first. Keep it easy. I'm going pink and blue ropes, pink and blue aprons. Mm-hmm. The ramp is going to have pink and blue trimming coming down.
Okay.
And the turnbuckles as well is going to be blue top turnbuckle. Actually, no, because I want the NJPW boxing turnbuckles where it goes straight down. Ooh. But there's still going to be a very pretty pink and blue blend. Where if you've been on my website, jacksimon.com, is my background. Just throwing that out there. Quick plug. Pink and blue, and then I was thinking a black canvas.
Have you seen a wrestling company with a black canvas?
I'm a little worried about how it's going to shoot, but I'm going to stick with it for now.
That's different. That's very different. I like that. I like that. For my setup, my colors are purple, gold, and white.
Ooh.
So
Lakers colors.
Similar. I'm not a Lakers fan, which is odd. So, I mean, I'm a LeBron fan, not a Lakers fan. Cool. So the ropes I want white. I do want the banner around the ring to be purple. So I want white ropes, white canvas, purple around the ring. Like a very rich violet that almost looks like a deep royal purple, like around it. And then I want lights going up the ramp, so it's like kind of, if you remember SmackDown, how you set up the lights that would shine from like one side to the other. They had like the little lighting things. So I want that up the ramp, and it's like purple and gold. And turnbuckle style, I didn't even think about that. Turnbuckle style, probably regular traditional wrestling.
Yeah,
I think it's a good idea. Like I didn't think about it.
You didn't even have to have like a turnbuckle style. That was just one thing I know I really wanted.
But one thing I did know, excuse me, I kind of want my announce team kind of like, so you know how you have the barrier around the ring, like the barricade.
Yeah. I
kind of want them in the crowd, in the barricade around, kind of like a New Japan type style. So it's like they're like into, like they're behind the barrier, you know, even more. So it kind of has a New Japan look.
Yeah. Why don't you give me your announcers then while we're talking about that?
Veda Scott was one.
Yeah.
Veda Scott's one of my commentators, and I don't. Damn, I didn't even think about free agent commentator. Holy shit. Give me Matt Striker.
Nice.
Veda Scott,
Matt Striker guy.
Veda Scott, Matt Striker.
I'm gonna have Josh Barnett, because he's not really gonna be wrestling a lot because he can't.
Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah. And I'm pairing him with Joey Janela, which, don't tell me that doesn't sound so much fun. You can't tell me that doesn't sound like so much fucking fun. And they're going to get kind of the old Monday Night Raw announcer spot up by the ramp. Away from
the amount of fights.
And AEW, I think, is like that too.
Yeah, but theirs is more actually on the stage. Like, you remember Raw was like they had their own stage.
Yeah, no, so they're off stage. Yeah, so they're the Raw one.
The amount of fights your locker room is going to get into. Like,
funny enough, Joey Janela on announcing.
It's just like you just do a little more kerosene into the fire.
Josh
It's like,
Barnett is going to be the sheriff. It's going to be fine.
you added Joey Janela. If we thought Effie didn't give a fuck, you know Joey Janela don't
It's
give a
funny
fuck.
because Joey Janela and Enzo Amore have gotten into a shoot fight.
That's what I'm saying. You just created more war. One of our listeners legit said he's not making it to the pay-per-view. Like, this promotion is not making it past the second week. Like, no one's gonna. He's but the words that was distinctly told.
You guys just aren't open-minded.
No, the words that was distinctly told. What's gonna happen when Evilise in fucking Ronda Rousey match does not go right? What is gonna happen?
Actually, see something. There's a worse scenario that I concocted in my head. Which I think is more possible, is Ronda Rousey and Evilise are best friends. I feel like that's a more likely possibility and a much worse possibility. Or much worse outcome.
No. Oh, you're not making it to the pay-per-view.
I'm making it to the pay-per-view. You're not open-minded.
All right. Next thing. What's the next
titles? I have 5 titles, which sounds like a lot but let me break this down. I have a world men's title, which you have to be on the roster for. I have a world women's title. I have a tag team title. And those you all have to be on the roster for. What you don't have to be on the roster to hold is my deathmatch title.
Okay.
And I'm going to have a Scramble 24/7 belt that is here. At the end of the show, at the end of my show, if you have the belt, you get a cash bonus. So there's meaning behind it.
That's different.
Yeah. So the show closes, you have the belt, you hold it for a week, and it's closed, and then I'll say for 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks before the show starts, it goes online again.
Okay.
It immediately becomes it becomes, what's it called? Available? Not available, because the person who held it before still holds it.
Vacant?
Huh?
Vacant?
No, because the person who held it at the end of last show, it becomes open challenge again. It becomes the 24/7 stipulation turns back on.
So basically, it's like there's a hold. There's like a pause, and then it's back. It's active, like how you said. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I guess I should clarify too. I'm running once a month.
Oh.
Yeah. So I have 12 shows a year.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
I have 12 shows a year. 2 weeks before the show, the 24/7 belt becomes open again. It becomes the switch is turned on.
Wait, does that mean you only have one show before your pay-per-view?
No, so I'm gonna have one pay-per-view a year, and so I'll build. So when we do our build, I'll do like 6 months out.
So,
if that sounds fair to you.
That's interesting. That's different.
Yeah,
I like it
because I want a season finale feel.
Yeah, I get you.
Which you can do you can do if you have like 4 pay-per-views a year, which AEW should go back to, but it's neither here nor there. But you'll understand why when I get into like
your booking,
the not just the booking, but like the travel logistics and shit like that.
Okay.
Which we'll talk about later. So give me your titles. And then I guess follow up too with how many times you're running a month, a year, a week, whatever.
So I'm doing 4 titles, basic 4 titles: men's championship, women's championship, tag team, of course.
Yeah.
And then I'm still trying to figure out a name, but I kind of want I do want an open challenge belt.
Okay.
I want to call it the Invitational, like Revolutionary Invitational.
Cool.
Something like that. And that one is contested almost under like FTW, ECW, anything goes type of rules.
So it's just a deathmatch title, and you refuse to acknowledge it as so.
Because I don't see it as fully deathmatch, because I'm not deathmatch man that you. So, that's what it is. But Yeah, that's a fully open invitation belt, and that's to anybody, any promotion, that we could work with. Um, I want to do bi-weekly, so
Cool.
every 2 weeks we run a show.
Yeah.
So we would do like a pay-per-view, probably after 3 shows, because it'd be 2 hours each time, bi-weekly. You have it. We have 8 people, so I feel like that's enough time to get people on the card, travel, get enough stories running, and then do a pay-per-view. And I'm thinking around 4 pay-per-views, like 3 to 4 pay-per-views is my goal,
Hmm.
because then I think it's healthy to like just keep it circling like that. My main thing is I kind of want us to be more like Eastern based, so Upper Eastern
You're like a
based.
regional promotion.
Yeah, so I'm thinking more Philly, New York, Connecticut, Boston, um, stuff like that.
Yeah.
More than anything, I would love to go to the Carolinas possibly, but that is kind of south. So
Different territory, brother.
different territory. Ooh, touch my tell you about but yeah, that's kind of like my idea right there. Is like Eastern bound, because I feel like, one, those crowds, those things it's always hot. Two, it's every 2 weeks. So if we could do New York for New York for a show, we could go to Jersey, go to Philly, pay-per-view, one of those areas. It can maybe burn us out, but also it could be something very unique, because it's not like every week.
Yeah.
It's like a little break in between. So, you know, one thing I'm very interested in, I kind of want to. This is one thing that I kind of is like as a selling point. We're doing stuff different in regards to like promos and stuff. Our main focus is not in ring promos. Like in ring promos, at most, is probably like one a show for 5 to 7 minutes at that. Like when I say in and out, we get into that point quick.
It's all
Because
about the graps over there.
but it's mostly backstage. If we are doing promos, the more things we do in this backstage. Maybe it could be the Continental Classic has very much spoiled me, but I love kind of like this shot backstage promo thing where it just feels more organic. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel so set up. You don't have to worry about looking at the hard cam. It's just being played throughout the arena, throughout the small venue, because I want small venues also. I don't want big ass fucking Barclays Center ass fucking arenas. No, give me the small. Give me Hammerstone. Give me Hammerstein Ballroom or Melrose Ballroom, and we gonna run stuff like that.
Love it.
Yeah.
I had to resist the urge to do like a Progress Atlas Championship, like just doing a Haas belt 265 and over, but I didn't. I was like, I just can't have another title in there.
I did want to do a modified Pure Rules title, but then I was just like,
right, you just can't have too many titles. Yeah. And even though like each one of my titles are very unique and distinct in their meaning, and I'm gonna book all of them. Like I'm gonna book all of their first champions when we get there.
yeah,
It's still like but like you can't have 6 for a small promotion.
no,
And like the death match and 24/7 belt is going to be held by people outside of the promotion.
Yeah.
Like free agents coming in and out for like 2 or 3 spot shows or whatever. And I don't have enough big guys to warrant an Atlas, to warrant a Haas championship, which means more free agents coming in and out. And now things are really complicated. So that's I let that go.
Yeah.
For my this is the part I'm most excited for.
Okay.
Bonkers Pro Wrestling, because it's
I forgot that's the name of the company.
We're only running once a month because all of our shows are going to be in weird spots, weird, unique venues, such as a New York City rooftop, in the Aspen, Colorado Art Museum, the Meow Wolf in Vegas, the Chicago Planetarium. We're gonna go back to Mall of America. We're gonna do go.
Did you just say an art museum?
Yeah.
You're gonna have a death match in an art museum.
Yeah. Or maybe that's the week we skipped the death match, but that's neither here nor there.
Like I'm about to say, you can't have blood splatter on priceless art.
We'll have tarps. You're not open-minded.
I'm just saying, like some of those art pieces might be
But a
worth
death
more
match
than
in
the
the Chicago
contract.
Planetarium? Do you know what Meow Wolf is?
No, it was Meow Wolf.
You would, everything aside, you would dig up Meow Wolf so fucking
Mhm.
much.
What
It's
is it?
all immersive art exhibit where, like, once you walk in, you're in that universe and you can touch everything. Everything is interactable. They have people going around, like characters, actors playing characters in that world. The art itself is beautiful. Everything in there is art. Like, there's no blank space.
Where's this?
It's in Chicago, Vegas, which is where I want to hold mine. Chicago, Vegas. They just opened one in Dallas. Wait, did I say not Chicago? Denver, Vegas, Dallas. The original one is in Santa Fe.
I might have to go check this out.
Yeah. No, they are amazing. They're really, really incredible shit. And hosting a, like, that's where a 24/7 belt is going to shine the most, because they're going to be running around.
In an immersive universe. That sounds actually pretty fucking trippy.
Yeah. Like, pinfalls happening everywhere.
That's actually cool.
Yeah. And the other one, Town of Tombstone, which, if I'm sure nobody's been to, but it's one of my favorite towns. It's so ridiculous. It's where they had the gunfight at the OK Corral, and they eventually made a movie of it. But the whole town has now like sold its soul to recreate like this atmosphere of Tombstone, of like the Wild West. So the whole downtown is dirt roads. They have shows that go on in the street. All the bars are called saloons. Like, it's ridiculous. And
it sounds like an old Western ass town.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And we're gonna put a pro wrestling ring right in the middle of that. And I don't know where we're gonna have our pay-per-view yet. I gotta think of something crazy, but it's gonna be awesome.
My first pay-per-view, because my idea is to run it up until the summer. Like, I want the summer to be our off season.
Yeah.
But our first pay-per-view will be coming back from September, around September time, usually in New York. I want our first pay-per-view to be in Brooklyn, Coney Island.
Oh, nice.
At the Cyclones arena.
That's a brilliant pick.
Because I feel like there's nothing better than it's still 60, 70 degrees out.
Yes.
Wrestling on the boardwalk in Coney Island.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. That's a stroke of brilliance.
That is where I want.
That makes me need to step up my game for my pay-per-view. And I guess I should mention here too.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be taped, because it's just going to be way too expensive to shoot this shit live.
Yeah.
At these weird places, and we're going to be taped on Fight TV.
Yes, I had Fight TV too. My thing to run it every 2 weeks is because we would be recording. So anything that, like, we would run the shows every 2 weeks live. But the idea is not live. We tape the shows every 2 weeks, but then we would really be putting out like 6 weeks of content. So instead of us, kind of like Impact, how Impact they come together, they tape like an episode or two, and then they'll put them out.
Cost efficient.
Yes, cost efficient. Two, I'm thinking two things actually on top of Fight. I want Fight and either Fight or YouTube subscription.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, but I'm thinking Fight for pay-per-view, YouTube subscription for a TV show.
See, and I like flipped it. Like, I wanted to put it on YouTube as like one of those movies you can rent on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because we have our channel, and then have like a buy, because it's gonna be taped anyways. So then you have like buy event, like you would have like buy a movie on YouTube. I
think the main thing is to just do it on YouTube. Is we can get paid like advertisement.
Yeah,
like advertisement space. So it's like, yeah, that'd be cool. But Yeah,
Well,
I know. Go ahead.
my shit's gonna be like, I'm viral baiting. Like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So like that's why I think YouTube is really good for pay-per-views because you
Mhm.
can click right from that into, oh, let me just buy that while I'm here.
Definitely. We definitely would do like a buy-in type of like pre-show for our pay-per-view, where it's like also where it's like, oh, we're doing a promotional show, like a live show for like on YouTube, and then it's like a buy-in where it's just like, hey, you could also pay right now on the discounted price to get a subscription for the first one at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the goal right there.
Do we have anything to book? Else to book
Um,
for?
ooh, let me see. Hold on. I just had to look because I think we hit all the points, but oh my god, someone just reminded me how many days Christmas is. Someone just wrote to me and it was like they wrote like when you're in a work group chat, like I'm in a Slack group chat, and someone was like, "Hey, it's 7 days before Christmas," and I was just like, I was like, I don't want nobody to say nothing. No, we have. Oh, no, you kind of hit your selling point.
Yeah.
The
My selling point is
deathmatch
going to
odd
be the
arena.
weird places that we do. Well, my biggest selling point is like, hey, come watch us do wrestling in weird places
Yeah. So
and viral moments and
fully,
all that.
I think we definitely hit it. I just know for my first venues, I'm doing Hammerstein. Hammerstein
Yeah.
Ballroom's our first kickoff show. Um, then I would like to do ECW Arena in Philly, and then to bring us back to prepare for our main event. I mean, for our pay per view, because as I said, we're booking, like we're recording multiple shows. So that's our 4 weeks, and then after that, mine is going to be Melrose Ballroom in New York City, and then that's going to lead us into Cyclones like arena. So for our first pay per view, which I think would be dope. An outdoor pay per view, an outdoor pay per view for your first one.
Yeah.
A good crowd.
In a nice little minor league baseball stadium that like
Exactly.
is used to hosting weird events like that. Love it.
Weird events, boardwalk. You could always pull people for a walk up.
Yeah.
It's all of that right there. So
Stroke of genius.
boom.
Cool.
I don't think I have
So,
anything else to book.
all right, then let us know in the comments. Hit us up if you got a promotion or an idea that you want to get through. If you have a weird place that you want to see a wrestling event happen, let me know at jack.simon on Instagram or Twitter. And always check out my website at jacksimonmakes.com for
Hold on,
all of my creative endeavors.
real quick. I
Oh,
want to know because
yes,
crap. Hold on. Give me one
real quick.
second.
An out the door comment.
Because one thing I definitely want people to give us some feedback on if they are up to it, fully are, is what would your kind of fan like? We've given both of our rosters. What would be some people's possible bookings? Like, how would they book certain things? Who would you want to see in the first title matches of both of our companies or organizations? And I think that'd be really dope to get people's feedback um, in regards to that. Beyond that, yeah, let me know as well. Life of Deem, or you can always DM the page Wrestling with Romance. That's our Instagram. You can always DM us, put in the comments, whatever it is. Just let us know what you think. If you have any ideas, if you had to book out an organization, how would you do it? I think what people don't understand is running weekly TV live is a bitch. Is a bitch. It's a bitch. Like I thought about it, and then I was just like, oh no, oh no. I was just like, oh no. Like that is not happening. Like that is not. But yeah, that's it, man. Beyond that, we'll see you guys next week.
Love it. Deuces.
There's this